What's up, guys? This is What If Naruto was a part of Team 10 part. We're gonna say this is part 3, pretty sure. If it's not, my bad. You'll know what part it is if you read what the video said before you got on it. So last time we left off on Naruto and his team leaving for their training trip. Sorry if you hear background noise. That's why I'm talking louder than usual, because I'm trying to talk over that. And they basically they did a group training for the first 2 months. So he was basically teaching really how to be. She's been taught Kenjutsu and Taijutsu and water style jutsus. Her water style is water style water boy, water style water dragon jutsu, and water style raging waves. And Naruto, he knows all these jutsus too. And she's about Sasuke level taijutsu, and she's really good at kenjutsu in my eyes. And my eyes are better now because I got my new glasses. I would show them to you guys, but I don't want to show you guys my face, so I got 2 pairs actually. So I have some good news, bad news. Bad news is, what if Naruto was a Prodigy's ending, and what if Deku was like Spider-Man ending? But good news is, this video is gonna be 30 minutes long, and starting 2 new series tomorrow. Double upload tomorrow. What if Naruto's betrayed and something else? Haven't really thought of it yet. And Naruto basically oh god, what was I gonna say? Naruto has basically found out that he has fire style. He rushes back to the hotel to tell Asuma this, and what they're gonna say for the next 2 months, Naruto and Asuma are training together. And for the first month, Naruto, he's learning Asuma's one jutsu where he blows out smoke and closes his mouth, and it basically all explodes. And that's basically what he learned for the first month. And Shikamaru and Ino are basically both just continuing to learn taijutsu and kenjutsu because they don't have the same chakra natures. We're gonna say Shikamaru, he has what should he have? He has earth style, so yeah, they can't really train that much together except for on taijutsu and kenjutsu. So they're training like that. And the 4th month, their last month, Naruto, he starts smoking because, like, we're gonna say he's starting to watch Asuma more because he's starting to actually care more about Asuma and think more of him of like family. And they kind of like have a brotherly bond at this point instead of sensei and student. And Naruto, he starts smoking like Asuma, and she realizes this because like he's basically teacher, and she's starting to notice more about Naruto because she pays attention to him more. And she kind of likes Naruto at this point, but she doesn't realize it because she just doesn't, okay? So, Naruto, he one day, like it's one of the last weeks, it's the last week of them being there, and they starting to head back, and before they head back, Naruto, he walks up to Ino, and he's chilling, and Naruto, he's really chilling, but she scoots over because she thinks that he's trying to get past her, and he scoots back over to Ino and starts walking to him, and he lowers her head to her, and she starts blushing because she thinks something gonna happen. And then Naruto, he starts laughing at and telling her how he just got her back for all those times she was teasing him. And then she goes off on Naruto talking about how she gonna get him back somehow. And we're gonna say this is the last day of them being on their break. Well, not on their break, their training trip, and they are leaving, and they stop at like the forest so they can like go to sleep, so they can leave, but they need a rest because they're getting tired. So Naruto, he's like been readying himself this whole week, and starts walking towards him, and he's getting ready. He's readying himself for what's gonna happen, because he's still cautious around so she never gets to catch him off guard. But walks right past him, like he wasn't really there, and then he feels something on his back, and this is jumping on his back, and she kisses Naruto on the cheek, obviously, but Naruto, he passes out, and he goes into his mindscape, and he is talking to Kurama. Kurama says, "Why are you here, brat?" And Naruto's asking Kurama what happened, why is he here, and how does he leave? And Kurama, he's not surprised, and he tells Naruto just to wake up because he's asleep. So Naruto, he wakes up and he sees everybody asleep, so he goes to sleep. And the next day, they go back to the village, and they get to chill for like a day because the Hokage knows how much they've been training. And they basically having a party at Naruto's house. And she shows up a little bit before everybody, except for Naruto, because it's his house. So he tells how he might just get her back for what she did, but he doesn't know when he wants to do it. So he's just chilling, and then um then Shikamaru, he walks in, and he sees he thinks and Naruto are dating, but they're not. But he doesn't say nothing, like, but he thinks they're dating, but they don't know this, so they can't deny it or nothing, because they don't know he thinks it. So Naruto and them have their party, and Asuma eventually shows up, but Naruto's congratulating them on how better they've gotten, and Naruto, they look at Naruto like, and they tell him how he's been most who's the strongest one out of all of them still, except for probably Asuma, and he is telling them how he really didn't get as strong as them. They're probably way stronger than him, especially as a team. And Shikamaru, knows this is Cap, but Asuma, I don't know if Asuma would be stronger than Naruto at this point, but not. We're gonna say Asuma knows that he's stronger than Naruto. So Naruto, um, he actually thinks that they're stronger than him, because he's always downgrading himself, because everybody's always downgrading him and told him that he's trash and will never be anything. So Naruto, he and his team go to the Kage's office the next morning, and they get their mission. Basically, their mission is to go to the sand village and drop off a letter to the Kage and make sure nobody tries to, and if anybody tries to attack them, kill them. Because this is a very important letter. If anybody gets away with the letter's information, the village could possibly be destroyed. So Naruto, he is ready. He seals everything again to go on their mission, and he seals everything up except for his sword, but now he has his sword on his waist. We're gonna say Naruto, his outfit and now is basically he basically get his hair. His hair is a little bit longer now, and he wears the headband on his neck now. So cause he wants his hair to be down like more than it was before. So he has it on his neck, and he basically wearing a red, some red, black pants, red Uzumaki symbol on his shirt, his fishnet jack. He has a fishnet shirt and a jacket that has the Uzumaki symbol at the back. So Naruto, he is basically there now. He's waiting for them, and he basically just chilling at the side of the gate waiting. And he sees Ino, and he prepared himself for what Ino's gonna do to him, because Ino did say she was gonna do something to her, but he doesn't know what she's gonna do, so he's still prepared if anytime Ino comes around him. And Ino says hi. She really just says hi and is going on with her day. And then she looks at Naruto, and Naruto, he's not paying attention because he doesn't think anything's gonna happen, because they've basically been waiting for like about 3 minutes and she still hasn't done nothing. So while Naruto looking away, she walks up behind Naruto and she taps him on the shoulder. And Naruto, he turns around and Ino's right there and she kisses him. But Naruto, he falls back and Ino catches him basically. And Naruto says, why did she do that? And Ino tells her, never be off guard like that or you may just die. And she tells him how she might just control his mind, make him do anything, anytime. And he'll never know that she did it. And Naruto, he looks at her like she tells him how he tells her how his mind is a dangerous place and how she shouldn't mess with it. And she's confused by this, but she doesn't care. She says that she's seen a lot of stuff and he couldn't scare her. And Naruto, he is on guard because he doesn't want to make think any different of him because the Nine Tails. And they eventually Asuma and Shikamaru pull up, and they are ready to leave now because the whole team's there. And they leave, and they eventually are halfway there, and they stop. And Naruto, he's putting down his bed next to Ino's, and she's already asleep, and Naruto, he's finna lay down, and he puts his arms around Ino, and he goes to sleep, and Ino wakes up and sees Naruto right there, and she starts blushing, and she pushes Naruto, and Naruto says, "That's what you get for kissing me," like, cause they're basically going back and forth with this at this point, and Naruto, he chilling, and they eventually head to the sand and drop off the message. And Naruto, Naruto and his team are basically halfway there and back to the reef when they run into this dog that gives them this message from Kakashi telling them about his mission. If you guys haven't watched Naruto, you would know. If you guys watch Naruto, you would know that basically their mission went wrong, and they met up with two S-rank, basically shinobi, and the dog tells Asuma that their C rank basically turned into a A rank. And in the um canon, they said it turned into an A rank, but at least Haku is at least an A rank shinobi, and Zabuza is an S rank. So I don't see how the mission alone be A rank if Haku himself is A rank and Zabuza is S rank. So they go and they see how injured Kakashi is. So they get debriefed on what happened by Kakashi, and Kakashi tells Asuma how what he was gonna teach his student, and Asuma basically teaches him that. And the rest of his team actually goes and trains separately, and she basically hops on Naruto's back and tells him to bring him to the forest. And Sasuke, he's jealous because he thought, liked him, but apparently, but now he's thinking, likes Naruto and they're dating. So he goes over after to Naruto after their training, and he tells him how Ino's his girl and stay away from Ino. And Naruto tells him, first of all, you did never even like Ino. First, I thought you were gay for a minute, and second of all, me and Ino aren't even a thing. She just likes teasing me for the fun of it. And so Sasuke, he yells at Naruto, talking about how he's not gay and how he better not be talking at Ino. So he goes. We're gonna say it's past 2 days, and Sasuke's finally mastered the tree walking, and they're basically going back to. They were basically finna go back and eat dinner when the kid. I mean, the kid in Canyon. I'm pretty sure it was Taluna's grandson. He starts talking about how he's gonna die just like his dad did, and how they think they're heroes, but they're not. At the end of the day, they're just gonna be killed in front of everybody. And Naruto, he goes off talking about, you don't know real pain, kid. The fact that you have a mom and a grandfather that cares about you is good enough. You know how many people I had in my life who ever cared about me? Zero. Be grateful you even have one. Matter of fact, you have two. Be grateful, little kid. At least you have somebody in your life. I literally have no one. Nobody ever cared about me. And he leaves and he starts training. And he's training a jutsu that he's been thinking of. And this is a fire style. And it's fire style, fire, destruction. And Naruto, he's decided to train on this, and he basically is creating a whole bunch of, God, I keep forgetting words, sorry. He's channeling a whole bunch of fire nature chakra, and he channels all this fire nature chakra and basically lets it all go, or releases it all from his body. And this is basically what the jutsu is. It's just making a whole bunch of chakra cover him, and basically makes a huge explosion around him. But this doesn't damage him, it only damages the person that it hits. So Naruto, he decides that he was going to go back to the house, but after he tries it one more time, and he tries it and it goes actually really good, but when it explodes and destroys like 50 trees around him, he passes out. And this is when Haku comes and sees him on the ground and helps him up, because he didn't know that this was a part of the team. He was a part of the team that was finna help defeat Zabuza, but then she sees that this is one of the kids and regrets waking him up, but she doesn't say nothing about it when he wakes up. So Naruto, he's talking to Haku until they get to the fact about if you have a loved one, you'll be stronger. And Naruto talks about how he's never had anybody to care about him until he just became a Guinea, and he basically found a big brother, his sensei Asuma, and a girl that he really cares about and kind of has a crush on. And this kid, his best friend, Shikamaru, Nara, and she's happy that he has people that cares about him, but then she was sad that she would have to kill them or hurt them tomorrow when they go to kill Tazuna. So it's the next day. Naruto, he wakes up to a scream, and this is Tazuna's daughter, finna finna get stabbed by those people that Gato sent to kill him. And Naruto, he sees this, and he throws up a scroll, and a whole bunch of kunais come out of it and stab them people in the chest. And then, what was I gonna say? Tazuna's grandson realizes how strong Naruto is and how he wants to be like Naruto one day. And he thanks Naruto and tells him how if he comes back, he will try to be like, he will become a shinobi. He will train his hardest to become a shinobi like Naruto. And he Naruto leaves, and he goes there automatically and sees that Ino is helping Sasuke beat, Ino is helping Sakura beat, not beat, protect Tazuna, and he tells Ino to stay there and protect Tazuna if this person kills Naruto, Shikamaru, and Sasuke. Well, no, not Shikamaru. We're gonna say Shikamaru is trying to help too, in case that person kills Sasuke, because Sasuke's been getting hit by a couple of Senbon. And he tells them that he believes that they can stop Haku if he is killed. Him and Sasuke are killed by her. And they know if Naruto was able to be killed by Haku, then they will have no chance. But they think they're overestimating Sakura's power and thinking that she's strong enough to help them. And with them three together, they could be stronger probably than Naruto. But that's cap. But because they're completely overestimating Sakura's power, we all know in regular Naruto, Sakura, she's useless. She can't do anything but sit there with a kunai and get her hair snatched, like in the Chunin exams. But we ain't gonna speak on that right now because it's about Naruto. So Naruto, he goes in and he's trying to help Sasuke until he gets hit with the Senbon, and Haku realizes that Naruto, he's a big risk. It's a big risk to let him just keep him like how he is. So she decides to throw like a pretty good amount of Senbon at him, and we see Sasuke end up falling on the floor. And Naruto, he's asking why Sasuke stood up for him like that and took the needles for him. And Sasuke tells Naruto that he'll have to beat her alone. And Naruto, he starting to grow the tail his cloak, and Naruto, he does the fire style destruction jutsu that I was talking about earlier. and it destroys the um all of the, what was I gonna say, ice mirrors. And Naruto, he's surprised because he wasn't able to do that before. And Haku, she's kind of burnt. Her arms kind of, well, his arms kind of burnt. And Naruto, he starts beating on Haku until he punches right through the mask. And he sees that um Haku is Haku. So he asks why Haku did that. Why was he? Why did he protect Zabuza? And why is he helping him to kill an innocent person? And she explains how Zabuza is her loved one. And then Naruto, he hears, um, he sees, not hears, he sees Asuma being put in a, what was I gonna say, a water prison, and he decides that he's gonna have to help him because that's like his big brother. So Naruto, he weaves a bunch of hand signs and yells water style water dragon jutsu, and this hit goes right through the water clone and hits Zabuza. And Zabuza, he goes flying and goes right through a tree, and this makes Kakashi able to hit Zabuza with the lightning blade until Zabuza, not Zabuza, Haku teleports, well, dashes right in front of it and gets hit with it. And then Naruto, talking no jutsu Zabuza, because Zabuza said that Haku was the tool that finally served its purpose, and this made Naruto really mad. So he does his talking no jutsu, and then Gato shows up, says he was never gonna play them anyway. It was hoping that they would kill both of them, but he says he guess he can kill Zabuza himself, and then this makes Naruto mad because we're gonna say then this Naruto had a bigger bond with Haku, and he waves his hand signs and yells water style water bullet jutsu, and this kills like 15 of them, and him and Zabuza go through with their swords. And oops, sorry, that was my glasses. And they go there with their swords, and they start slaughtering all of them. And he tells Zabuza that he can kill um kill Gato himself, and Naruto won't interfere. So he cuts off um his head, and Naruto, he's happy that he didn't die, so he can go back and teach um Tazuna's son, well, grandson, a jutsu before he leaves. And they head back, and Naruto, he tells Tazuna's grandson that he's gonna teach him a jutsu before he leaves, and he basically teaches Tazuna's grandson the Shadow Clone. And Naruto, he leaves, and his team leaves, and they basically go back to Leaf, and Asuma tells them how they all have the tuning exams, and he says that they usually will have a chance, a choice, but they don't because Asuma knows if they don't this year, they might not get to next year, and he knows that they will be able to pass because they're one of the strongest guinea he knows in the world right now. And he decides to train them for about a week before the tuning exams. So they're gonna be training as a group in basically Kenjutsu because they all know it. So finally we they teach Shikamaru how to run Earth style through his sword, and this basically makes his sword sharper and basically harder. So if he had like, cause we're gonna say his sword broke trying to block um um what's his name, Zabuza's sword from hitting Otazuna, and it broke, and this is basically going to prevent something from like that happening again. So they basically been training in Kenjutsu because they know that this will be useful, and they really can't train jutsus unless it's Naruto and Asuma together, or Naruto and what's her name, Ino together. So they do that, and the Chunin Zone starts the first round. Naruto, he passes with flying colors because he's pretty smart. He been hitting the books. But that's where I'm gonna end it off. That's 30 minutes. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another video. Peace.